Okay, this is the caddy book, boundaries and rulings for the Jack Gist Park Disc Golf Course. The first round will be 18 holes from the A positions. First, we will play 9 holes from the yellow and then 9 holes from the blue tee pads. Second round, we will move the pins to the B positions and then again play 9 holes from the yellow and then 9 holes from the blue tee pads. The boundaries for the course will be as follows. Hole 1 will have no out of bounds. Hole 2 will have an out of bounds far left and deep of the basket. This boundary is marked with a yellow spray painted logs and a black kind of old power cord. Hole 3, the only out of bounds will be onto the field, or if you go really far deep and past both of hole 4's tee pads, there is a ditch running along the bottom of the hill there, and that marks the park boundary and the out of bounds. This same drainage ditch will be out of bounds on hole 4, so if you go far right over the drainage ditch on hole 4, you would be out of bounds. Hole 5, same ditch is in play, and now this ditch is far deep behind the basket to the right, and then there is also another drainage ditch deep of the basket to the left. Both of these are along the park boundary and mark the out of bounds line. So if you are over the ditch on hole 5, you are out of bounds. Hole 6 has no OB. Hole 7 has out of bounds, and there is going to be drop zones in play. So the out of bounds for hole 7 are the fields, and if you go onto the field on your drive, then you will move up to the drop zone from both tee pads. And this drop zone is the hole 8 blue tee pad. So you will move up to there with a 1-stroke penalty, shooting 3. On hole 8, there is also out of bounds with the drop zone situation. The fields are the out of bounds on hole 8. If you go onto the field, then you move up to the drop zone. So if you are on the shorter hole 8 tee pad, the yellow tee pad, and you go out of bounds on the field, you would move up to the blue hole 9 tee pad, shooting 3. If you are on the longer version of hole 8, the blue hole 8 tee pad, and you go onto the fields, then you move up to the shorter hole 8 yellow tee pad. If you were to go out of bounds again from that drop zone, then you move up to hole 9 blue tee pad for the drop zone. Hole 9 also has a drop zone. If you go onto the fields out of bounds on hole 9 or far right on the fairway, there is a creek or drainage ditch. If you go over the creek to the right of the fairway, you're also out of bounds. Either of these out of bounds, you move up to the drop zone. Drop zone is kind of in the alders down below the field, kind of right before it breaks out into the open. It's marked with spray paints and flags. That should be all the out of bounds. If we were to get a whole bunch of extra last minute entrants over 36 and we need to, we may put 2 extra holes out in the fields. In this case, everything inside the fence on the fields would be inbounds, and if you go over the fence outside of the field, that would be an out of bounds situation, and just play it where you went out of bounds. But those holes are only going to be put in if we get more than 36 people registered. All right, should be a great time out there. And remember, if there's any questions about boundaries or rulings, play a provisional. You can play the hole both ways and then record both scores, and we can figure it out at the end of the round. Have fun out there.